Okay, so here we go. We're going to try and find the slope of this line. First of all, you'll notice it's a line because it has arrowheads at the end of each little line segment here, here, and here. So that's telling you that it's a line and not a line segment. So we need to find the slope. Well, how do we do that? Well, the formula that we have for finding slope is slope is equal to rise divided by run. So how do we figure out the rise? How do we figure out the run? Well, what we need to do is select two points or two dots. Now if you look here, we have 5 different dots to choose from, and we can pick any 2 that we like. I'm going to select these 2 dots to work with. No particular reason other than, hey, I get to choose, I choose these 2 dots. So using these 2 dots, I'm always going to go to the lower of the 2 dots. Not because I have to, but because I want to. So many different ways to figure out the rise and run. I'm just going to make sure that I'm going to be consistent each and every time. I'm always going to go to the lower of the 2 dots. So from here, I'm going to do the rise, and then the run, and then I'm going to make sure that I count squares. But I'm also going to make sure that I'm going to be aware of the scale when counting squares. So I'm going to start counting my rise. So starting at this dot, I might go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I might be tempted to then put a 6 over here. But that's actually wrong. Why is it wrong? Well, because the scale is not counting by ones. The scale is counting by, well, let's have a look here. It looks like, just looking at the scale here, that every square in the vertical direction counts for 4. So I guess I should count by 4s. So that looks like 4. So if we try it again, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. So the rise is 24, and it's positive 24 because I had to go up to figure out the rise. Remember that little arrowhead right there? That tells me that I had to go up to count. So positive 24. Now it's time to figure out the run. Now looking at the scale, I notice that in the horizontal direction that every square counts for 3. So here I go. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. Now because I had to go to the left, that's a negative direction. My run is negative 18. All I have to do from here is to simplify the fraction. So in other words, make sure it's in lowest terms, that I've expressed this as simple as I can. Well, I noticed that the numerator and denominator are both even, so I know I can at least divide by 2. So if I go ahead and do that, I end up with 12 over negative 9. But I can reduce that even further, because now I notice the top and bottom both divide by 3. And so now what have I got? Well, now I've got 4 over negative 3. That fraction is in lowest terms. There's no point in changing it to a decimal, because then I lose the whole rise and run aspect of my answer. So as uncomfortable as it might be to leave our answer as a fraction, this is a great answer. So the answer of 4 over negative 3, or if you prefer negative 4/3, is a perfectly good answer for how you find the slope.